And joining us now live from the Maine House of Representatives, we have member Justin Chenette. Thank you so much for being here,
It's
Justin.
a little early, but I'm happy to be here.
I'm psyched you're here, too, joining us live. So, you just participated in the Youth Caucus, 13 legislators under 30. First of all, it's great to have that number of people under 30 helping make our laws. So, I know you went to Linden State, obviously not in Maine. If pay it forward, pay it back had been in place, would you have been more apt to stay in Maine to go to school, you think?
Well, I think that really has to do with the Opportunity Maine program, because right now kids can get tax credits to basically stay in Maine to go to school and then stay in Maine to work. So that live, play, work sort of scenario where we want to not have that brain drain scenario. This bill that was proposed by Senator Alfond will really just be sort of a bird's eye view of our entire education system in terms of paying for post-secondary education. You know, I graduated from college just about over a year ago, and the costs were extreme, you know, and I can see why a lot of people my age and younger can't afford to go to college. So it's a very important issue, but it's a behemoth. Like, it is not something that one bill or one law is going to solve, but what this is an opportunity to have this dialogue about how can we creatively come up with solutions to this. Now, I put forward a bill, the Opportunity Maine tax credit, an expansion of that program. So if you go to college, let's say in California or Florida or Wisconsin, you should be able to get a tax credit to come back, to incentivize you to come back to work here so that you don't stay out where you went to college. So not enough kids are using the Opportunity Maine tax credit, so an expansion of that program will be helpful. And I think, again, Senator Alfond's bill will really have that conversation about what are the other solutions? Is it a high school partnership, for instance, like Thornton Academy is doing in Saco, where they have basically, if you go in as a freshman, and they have a partnership with the UMaine system, so you can get 1 year of college for an engineering student right out of the gate for free. You know, so you enter college as a sophomore. So college affordability can be a very wide topic, and there's a lot of creative solutions that don't require money. It's like the expansion of the Opportunity Maine program. It won't cost hardly anything.
Right, and obviously money is a huge part of this dialogue, because in order for this particular program to kind of get off its feet, the state would have to invest in it before graduates start paying it back. But you're saying that if we can kind of get this Opportunity Maine tax credit in line, it would help solve that money problem, because this program, the Opportunity Maine program you were talking about, has been in place for years now. And why aren't kids paying attention to it? Why aren't parents forcing this upon their children to get with the program?
We defunded the marketing of the program. No, well, I didn't, but no, I think it's important that we have that conversation with guidance counselors and encourage them to talk about the program, but also offer more opportunities through the program. And that's not the only scenario, that's not the only bill, but I think that that's one step in the right direction. I don't think there's anybody in Augusta that recognizes that we can just hand a check to a student and like, oh, we're going to pay for your college. We're already facing millions and millions of dollars of shortfalls in the state. There's no magic wand over this issue. There's no magic wand financially. So what this is, like, what can we do to come up with things like the Precision Machinery program at WCSH? That was a partnership with the private industry, because the private industry was like, listen, we need these skilled, highly trained labor force, and then the schools are like, crap, we really need students, So that the perfect marriage between those two, the private industry and the public institution, said, okay, let's come up with a new program. So they funded it privately and with a bond, and that was a great marriage. So things like that we can do without pouring millions of dollars into it of taxpayer money, and it actually will benefit students. I participated in the early studies program at USM. That's a great I got 12 credits of college out of the way before I left high school, and I was able to graduate a semester early from college in doing so. So that was a significant reduction in my costs, because it's like, oh, I work a part-time job, my check goes right to textbooks or right to these supplies. And that's just not right, because it's really a gateway of opportunity, college. But I can't stress this enough. Let's not forget the kids that don't really need to go to college. Maybe it's a training program or a trade school, because that gets lost in translation. When we're talking about college costs, what about all those kids that want to use their hands? You know, some of them make a lot more money than I make. You know, whether it be an electrician or plumber, there's a huge market for that. So really, by 2020, if we don't have a college education, some sort of degree, post-secondary education, or some highly skilled training program, you're going to be out of luck. So it's really important that we look at this from a broad perspective, and I think Senator Alfond's bill gets to that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. No one can say you're not passionate. I don't care what time of day it is. Thank you so much for all of that insight. It was great to have you on here.
Thank you, Jackie.
Absolutely.